Hello everyone! Can you see me? Let's see here. Let's get us started. Okay. Yay! I got some hearts and thumbs up. Yay! People can see me. Cool. Welcome guys to South Mountain YMCA's live classes. If you haven't been with us before, this is our 8th live class. If you want to check out our previous live classes, just go to the videos in Facebook or check them out on our YouTube. We'll wait for a few more people to get, hi Amanda! We'll wait for a few more people to hop aboard here before we get started. My name's Becky, I'm the Outdoor Center Director, and today we're going to be talking about turtles. I will say turtles have become my favorite reptile. If you guys saw my thing last Friday, we did snakes. If you didn't catch that, go and check it out because some of the information that I'm saying is going to be, we're going to repeat a little bit of it, but snakes, whole different thing than turtles. And then you get to meet some of our snakes we have on site. But yeah, today is going to be Turtle Day. Turtle time. It's turtle time. A couple more people up here. Awesome. We got a good number. Hi, Allie. So we're going to get started here. So turtles. They are awesome. Like I said, they're like my new favorite animal because there's just so many different kinds. We have 3 different types of turtles here on site. And they're all very, very different from each other. And they're all need different things, and they're all different sizes. So it's really cool how these shelled little creatures can just be so different. But yeah, the main thing about turtles is, and their most distinguishing factor is their shell. So yeah, turtles rock. So I'm going to be a little bit repetitive with the beginning of my thing because the first step before you handle any turtle is rinse your hands. And that is because turtles can absorb things through their skin, and even more so than snakes. So you really do want to make sure that your hands don't have any harsh chemicals, hard soaps, hand sanitizers, lotion, anything like that. You want to rinse your hands off before you pick up a turtle because you don't want them to get sick from those chemicals. And also, do turtles bite? That is always the question I get that before we start, because here at camp, you actually get a chance to hold our turtles and hold our snakes. And then the question always is, do turtles bite? And like I say, do they have mouths? They do have mouths. So yeah, they can bite just like we can bite. Will they bite? No, they're not. Biting is not their defense. What they do is they hide in their shells, or they try to run away or swim away. They're not biters because really, if something's a lot bigger than them, they know that they're not going to be able to deter it with biting them. They don't have teeth. They have beaks, basically. They have like what birds have. They have like a little beak, and they can munch and they tear off pieces of their food. They don't chew food. They just tear it off and swallow it whole. So yes, turtles can bite, but we're going to follow the same rules as we do with snakes, which is we're not going to wave our hand in front of their face because not only could you get bitten that way, it also is very disconcerting for the tortoise. Like, would you like it if I just did this to you the whole time? No, that's very annoying. You would bite me too if you could. So we're not going to wave our hand. We're just going to keep our hands away from them. Now, a couple misconceptions that we have about turtles is that turtles can come out of their shell. A lot of cartoons depict turtles getting home from work and taking off their shell and sitting back in a chair. So turtles actually, their spine, wait a second, I have one thing. So here's a turtle shell. There's no turtle in this shell. Here's a turtle shell. It's a box turtle shell. These turtles you can find in your backyard. And we're going to look inside here and see that right there? That's their spine. Okay, so a turtle's spine is actually attached to their shell, or their shell is attached to their spine. Okay, so that's why turtles can't just wiggle out of their shell like a hermit crab or something. They have to stay in their shell. Now, the top part of a shell on a tortoise is called the carapace. So this rounded top part is called the carapace. And then the bottom part of their shell, here's the bottom part of their shell, is called the plastron. Okay, so that's called, so plastron is the bottom, Top of the turtle is, wait, it goes this way. Top of the turtle is the carapace. So carapace, plastron. Now, like I was saying, their spine is right there on the top. The other thing that's on the top is their lungs. Their lungs are actually located near the top of their shell inside right here. So that means when a turtle flips upside down, their body weight presses in on their lungs. So not only is it really awkward when a turtle is on its back because it can't get back over, it's also really bad because they can't breathe really well when they're on their back. So do me a favor. If you ever see a turtle in the wild that is accidentally tipped over, it happens. They think they can scale everything, and they try to, and they just go, boop, help a turtle out, flip it back over on its side, and then, give it a little pat, and walk away. Turtles can kind of feel on the back of them. So this is made out of like keratin. It's made out of what your fingernails are made out of. So if you close your eyes and kind of scratch the top of your fingernail, you know it's happening. You can't really, like, nerves-wise, you can't feel it, but you can sense that that's happening. So turtles are aware when things are scratching on the top of their shell. So when you hold a turtle, we're going to kind of hold them like a sandwich or a burger, like this. We're going to keep them nice and flat, and then we're also not going to, like, flip them upside down, and we're going to keep our hands away from its face, so, there's no worry that it's going to mistake your fingers for a worm or something like that. So that's how we're going to hold them. So let's get started. So we are going to introduce our turtles. We're going to go from smallest to largest again because I just kind of like the symmetry of that. We did the same thing with the snakes. And we're going to start with our three-toed box turtle, Donatello. Now, he's new. You guys haven't seen. You're going to see how new he is. He is very new because he's a baby. There's a little Donatello. Say hi, Donatello. There he is. He's a little box turtle. Isn't he cute? Now, he's a three-toed box turtle. We know this because he's got three little toes. There he is. You can see him. 3 little toes right there. So he's really, really small. He's only about 7 months old, okay? So these guys are tiny. Okay, so he was captive bred. I want to be sure to say that all of our animals here were captive bred, meaning that they were gotten from pet stores or breeders. They were not gotten from the wild. Please leave turtles in the wild, okay? So this is our three-toed box turtle, scientific name Terrapene Carolina triangulis, trianguis. There it is, trianguis. Very difficult to say, but he's a subspecies of the type of box turtles that we see here. This guy we saw. Look at the size. Look at this difference. You see that? Baby, not baby. So this type of box turtle is the type you would find in your backyard. And this type of box turtle you would actually find in the center of North America, like in Missouri, and then down towards Alabama, Texas, those types there. In that small strip right there, that's where you guys kind of find these guys. So anyway, so they're subspecies, meaning they have a lot of the same characteristics as ours box turtles, but they are a little bit different. Now, our eastern box turtles, they are illegal to have as pets. So if you have an eastern box turtle as a pet, shame, shame, shame. But please leave them alone. Leave them outside. It is illegal. They are a protected species. Now, these little guys, though, you would find these guys in the woodlands, in grassy areas. He's just trying to get away from me right here. He's like, I can fly. Woodlands, grassy areas. They won't get much, he's going to get about 5 inches long. So from his shell, this part to this part, he's going to get about 5 inches long. Now, I am saying but to be honest, at this age, we don't really know how, if he's a male or a female. We can guess because he does have, I'm going to turn him around here, spin him around for you guys. He has a pretty long tail. Look at that little tail. Look at his little legs. It's just, yeah, there it is. So he does have a pretty long tail. So, we might assume that he's a boy because males have long tails and they're a little bit smaller than the females. He's got a little bit of stuff on his eye there. Here we go, guys. I got him off. But again, we won't know until he's bigger. The big tell with a lot of turtles is tail length and their plastron. So again, the plastron is the bottom of them, and the bottom of a plastron on a male has a concave shape. So it's like this. It's indented, okay? And then a female is flat. But again, we won't know that until he is a little bit bigger, okay? So, again, he's only going to get about 5 inches. Now, why are box turtles called box turtles? It is the coolest thing, and it's why they're one of my like favorite turtles. It is because here on the bottom of their shell, right there, you can kind of see it. I am flipping him like this. He's okay. He's just a little stressed out about it. But right here on the bottom of their shell is a little hinge. And that hinge, he can go, let me see if I can make him do it. Okay, don't do this at home. Go inside your shell, buddy. Nope, he is like, I am not scared of you. You have not hurt me. You just feed me. Okay, so usually when they're scared, they're going to go inside their shell, boop, 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 boop. And this little part is going to close up, okay? It hinges, and so they are completely boxed in. That's why they're called box turtles. And then that's just to protect them. So that's so like none of their legs, none of their heads or anything are showing. So let's do something different so he's not like Supermaning it the whole time. Let's give him a little crawl around. Now, woo, go buddy, go. Where is he? There he is. So there he is. He's adorable. Now, just to give you a size, that's not going to work. He's just going to get away from us. To give you a size, like, you know, difference for this guy. So when he is born from an egg. The big difference between amphibians and reptiles is that, and I'm saying this because a lot of times people think turtles are amphibians because some of them do live most of their life in the water. But the big difference is when they're born, these guys just look like little mini versions of themselves. They come from eggs. The eggs are buried on land. And they just come out and they just look like a little bit of this. He was born to be about a quarter size. Right now he is, let me grab a pen. So here's a standard size pen. And here he is. So that's how big he is. So he's about like a 50-cent piece right now. But when he was born, he was about the size of a quarter. And then he comes out and he looks just like this. And his shell is going to get bigger and he's going to get bigger. Unlike amphibians who are born in the water with gills, and like for a frog, for instance, they're born as a tadpole, and then they morph into that whole process of metamorphosis. They they get legs, and then they get lungs, and then they can be, you know, on land. But reptiles, they're just born mini versions of themselves and will just grow and get bigger. So big difference between amphibians and reptiles there. So anyway, he's born about the size of a quarter. And what does that mean? This guy right now, he looks like he's the size of a potato chip. Okay? And he looks yummy to like everything. So, they're very, very vulnerable when they're born. So raccoons, skunks, possums, foxes, rats, squirrels, you name it. Anything that's like an omnivore or a carnivore would just gulp these guys right up, crunch up their little shell, and be on their way. So these guys, their main defense is hiding. So when I put him into his little home, which I'll show you guys in a second here, he's just going to go like basically straight under one of his hides and hide, because that's what they do when they're small. They know to survive, they just need to hide. And that's what he's going to do. So he's a little omnivore. So when they're young, they definitely eat a lot of protein, bugs. They can eat so mostly grubs, bugs, worms, those types of things. And then he also can eat veggies, but they don't really like those until they're older, kind of like people. They don't really like the veggies until they're a little bit older. And for treats, we can sometimes give them fruits. But yeah, so that's him. Now, when he gets older, he's going to live in a territory, like his little spot that he lives is not going to be bigger than a football field. Okay, that's it. That's why it's so important, especially for box turtles, because they have that football-sized territory. Do not move them. If you see them, now if they're on the road, of course, move them in the direction that they were going. So if they were crossing the road this way, pick them up and put them on the other side of the road. But do not move them out of their territory, because then they get really stressed. They don't know where they are and they won't survive long. It's one of the reasons why they are protected and why we're losing so many of them. They are getting displaced. So that is our little box turtle friend, Donatello. He'll be back. But we're going to move on to our next animals, okay? So let me just put Donatello over here in his thing. If I have time at the end, I'll show you guys his little place where he's going to go. But for now, he's just going to go back in the container that I had him in. There you go, buddy. You're good. Okay, so like I said, a lot of like box turtles are a protected species. A lot of turtles actually are PA native turtles are protected species, meaning they're not endangered, but they're close. So it's illegal to have them as pets. You are allowed to have special permits to have them for an educational class, but you can't have them as pets. And that's box turtles, bog turtles, spotted turtles, a lot of turtles. You can look up at the list online at your Fish and Games website and everything, but there's a lot of turtles you can have. But our next turtle is the turtle that you can have as a pet, only one of them in PA. So we're gonna go on a bit of an adventure because can you see it? That's her little tank right there. Wait, right there. That's it, Shelly. Shelly, say hi. There she is right there. We're going to go grab her real quick. So let us come along with me. Let's go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Now, if you guys don't recognize where we are, where are you, Shelly? There you are. Aha! Caught her. Caught her. So if you guys don't recognize where I am right now, that might be because you haven't worked at camp. I am actually in Mountaintop, which is our staff lounge during the summer, but during the winter, it's where we house our animals because the heat's on and the water's on. So our nature lodge, we kind of shut down for the winter. So this right here is Shelly. Say hello, Shelly. She is our Eastern painted turtle. Okay, Eastern painted turtle is Shelly. She is semi-aquatic, as you can tell, because she's wet. Once she gets a little bit used to what's happening to her, she'll try to go away, but she's a little bit smarter than our three-toed box turtle where she's not like all out and about. But this is good. Before she starts crawling away, we can talk a little bit about her. Now, Shelly, Eastern painted turtle, Chrysamis picta. Chrysamis picta is the scientific name for her, and she is not a protected species, but like I said, you're only allowed to have one of them and unless you have a permit. Semi-aquatic, she can stay under the water for a really long time. She actually prefers the water because she's very, very fast in the water. She's pretty fast on land, but once she gets her legs out of here, we'll see her webbed feet and everything like that. Now, why is she called a painted turtle? You can probably guess just by looking at her why she's called a painted turtle. And we're going to turn her to the side right there, and pow, that's it right there. It looks like someone went all Picasso right on there, right there. So these bright colors and those bright colors on her neck and her legs when she sticks her legs out. You can even see that she has a stripe through her eye. Her eye isn't shaped like that. You can kind of see her pupil. Oh, sorry, lady. You can kind of see her pupil a little bit there. But yeah, she has like a stripe right through her eye. It's so, so cool. And that's just to help her eye blend in so creatures don't go for it. But again, this is Shelly. She's such a cool lady. Now, Shelly's been on this mountain probably the longest. She's been here for about... I'm not sure. She was here, I think about 10 years. She's at least 10 years old. We don't know. I'm not really sure how old she is. But yeah, so that's Shelly. Now, why? A couple of really cool things about Shelly. Now, Shelly is full grown. This is how big she's going to get. She's probably about 6 inches. I'm going to just show her like that. Now, you see the color, the top of her color? It's a dark color. Can you guess why it's a dark color? You are correct. Camouflage. You can find Shelly's or Eastern painted turtles in ponds, in shallow coves of lakes, slow-moving rivers or streams. That's where these little guys hang out. And because those places are dark, and she kind of just looks on the top of her, she just looks like a stone. She just looks like a stone from far away. So her predators, the predators that are out to get her, can't find her that way. And then the bottom of her, get ready for the bottom of her because it's really, really pretty. That bottom part of her right there is really bright. It's either a bright orange or a bright reddish orange. And that's because when she's swimming along the top, she's getting comfortable. Her legs are starting to come out. When she's swimming along the top, predators from below just think that's sun. They don't see a dark shape. They see this bright color coming down at them. So that's, again, another form of camouflage. Say hello, Shelly. Hello. So that's why she's the colors that she is. Now, as I was saying, she is a pretty speedy creature. Now, she has to be because some of the things in the wild that she eats, she is an omnivore as well. So little fish, tadpoles, bugs, all those things. She chases them down and she munches them up. Shelly says hello, Henry. So that's why she has to move so fast. I'm going to see if I can get her little feet out here a little bit. Hey, can you show me your foot? She's like, no, ma'am. But anyway, believe me, they're webbed. She also has, and let's see, we can see this back foot here. You see those claws? She also has little claws. And those little claws, those little talons, they help her climb over rocks. So because she does have to get out and bask. Now, we talked about this with the snakes. These guys, these are reptiles. They are ectothermic, which means they are cold-blooded. And cold-blooded creatures cannot regulate their own body temperature. They need to get the their body temp up from their environment. So if you see these guys in the wild, you probably won't see them in the water because, again, they're very fast. You'll most likely see them sunning or basking themselves on logs or rocks. Everything. Is that right, Shelly? Yes, it is. So they usually hang out in groups. But don't get confused that they enjoy each other's company. Usually that's just habit because, again, their territories are pretty small. These turtles, reptiles in general, they don't need a friend to hang out with. They don't have those types of feelings of friendship. Sorry to disappoint some of you. So they don't really need a friend, especially if you have two males. They're just going to go after each other. Now, we know Shelly's a girl because of the length of her tail. I'm not going to show you her tail because it's tucked up in there. She's very much tucked up. And then also her plastron is nice and flat. You can see that. It's nice and flat. Okay? So it doesn't have that concave in it. So she is a little girl. Now you can see the difference. Do you see how flat she is compared to, here she goes. There's her webbed feet. Do it again, lady. You see how flat she is compared to she's trying to get away, compared to our box turtle. And that's just because that makes her more streamlined in the water. That's why she's flat. So yeah. That is Shelly. Feel free to ask any questions if you guys have any questions. But yeah, that's Shelly. This is our native species that we have here in PA. Okay. Now we don't have any really on camp because we don't really have bodies of water here on camp. We're in a mountain as well. But like down at Blue Marsh or something like that local, yeah, you would definitely see them. So that's what these guys look like. Let's see if we can put her on the ground for a second and see if she moves for you guys. So Shelly, would you like to go somewhere? Yes? No? Maybe? There we go. There she goes. And we're on the move. On the move again. Nope. We're done? Okay. Well, that's Shelly, guys. She's up. And, of course, as soon as I let her go, she's going. So, we have one more turtle to talk about today, and I'm going to bring them out. And I say turtle, but it's actually a tortoise. So, let's put this Shelly lady back in. Okay, Shelly. Be free. There she goes, everybody. Can you see her swimming under there? Okay, awesome. So, our final and our last creature is our tortoise. And this is, I'm getting her. Haha. It's Rhonda. It's Rhonda, the red-footed tortoise. So, Rhonda is actually my tortoise. She is not a Camp's. She is actually a rescued tortoise, and she hasn't been in quite the best situation. So, and she's a little tired today. She went to the vet this morning. But this is Rhonda. So now, big difference between Rhonda and our other two is that she's a tortoise. She's completely land. I do soak her every day to give her some moisture, but really these guys, they cannot swim. They would just sink right down. You can see her little feet. They're not webbed like Shelly's. And you can also see why they call her a redfoot. See the little red on her feet and everything? Smile, Rhonda, you're on candid camera. She's got a cute little face, right? So another thing I want to show you guys. Now, the reason why Rhonda didn't come from such a great thing is, do you see her shell? Do you see how bumpy her shell is? That means she didn't get the proper nutrition or the proper light when she was growing up. Now, her head's moving up and down because that's how turtles breathe. They have bellows. and everything. You could probably see that a little bit with, it's a lot more distinct in these types in tortoises, but you can kind of see them swallowing and how they breathe and everything and smell. So Rhonda here, like I was saying, because she didn't get the proper nutrition, her scutes, which are the sections of her shell, kind of piled up on top of each other. Tortoises do shed. They shed just like any other reptile. And it kind of looks like this when they shed. So this is a scute. See how thin it is? It just comes off. It just peels off, just like, you know, it's bendy and everything like that. It's just a piece of keratin. And but if tortoises aren't getting any bigger, but their scutes are getting like longer, so but their scutes are still there and not coming off because they don't have proper nutrition, they get like this pyramiding. So like these are all scutes right there that didn't come off. So that's why it doesn't hurt her. It makes her, it's not really good when they're in the wild, but in the, in captivity, it's not that big of a deal. She's not pained by that. She still has plenty of room to breathe in there and stuff, but she's probably never going to get much bigger than this. She's probably about 5 or 7 years old. And you know, these guys usually get twice the size of her, and she's about the size. She's a little bit bigger than Shelly, not by much though. But they usually get to be about like 9 inches or 8 inches long, or sometimes the bigger girls get to be like 10 or 12. But she's probably not going to get much bigger than she is right now. So that's cool. But unlike our other two, she is an herbivore. She only eats the veggies. She loves the veggies. We can see if we can try to get her to eat something today. I don't know if she's hungry. She, like I said, she already kind of ate a little bit this morning, but we can see if we can try to get her to eat here as a grand finale. So she is, like I said, an herbivore, so she mostly eats veggies. I'm going to move you guys down a little bit so you can kind of see her. There you go. There she is. So because she only eats veggies, she gets her protein. We actually give her some tortoise food to give her protein and everything like that. And dark leafy greens is what she usually goes for and that type of stuff. But we're also going to try to give her, wait, where are you going, lady? Come back. You can see they're much slower than regular turtles. So we're going to see if she wants to eat any. You want to eat? Yeah? Smell it? Yeah? Do it? Be adorable? There it is. There she goes. So this is just a little bit of watermelon. Give her a little bit of energy there. Isn't that yummy? Oh, good girl. So I'm saying good girl, but again, turtles, they don't care who we are. They don't know who we are. They will eventually recognize the shape of a person. And they'll recognize that that person brings them food, and the smell of that person means that they got food. Good job. But turtles don't have any feelings like cats or dogs where they're just like you're part of their pack. That's just not how turtles interact with people. So if you're looking for a pet that's going to like you, turtles aren't the thing. But anyway, so that was so good. Yum. You want some more? I can give you some more. So, like I said, she's an herbivore. She is found mostly in forest climates, rainforesty climates, and so she likes a lot of moisture. So if you guys looked at her hide or her enclosure, you would see that I have a humidifier there. So we're about out of time. So before we go, I did want to say thank you guys for watching. This has been awesome. I've loved a chance to watch, to like share some of my passions of these reptiles with everyone. Please, the same thing I'm going to say as I said with our snakes. If you see a turtle in the wild, awesome. Give them a little pet. Send them on their way, but don't move them. Also, if you have a pet turtle, like a red-eared slider or something like that, and you've decided that you no longer can keep this turtle as a pet, there are plenty of rescues that will take that turtle for you. And make sure you use them. Do not release a store-bought turtle or a captive-bred turtle into the wild. And that's because, you know, they're invasive, and then also they could carry diseases. So make sure that you don't do that. Keep the wild in the wild, keep the captive in the captive type thing. You can find some rescues and everything to take them. If you guys have any questions about turtles or any questions about snakes, either either questions just because you're curious or questions because maybe you're thinking about getting them for a pet, please let me know. I've done a lot of research. I can give you like really great research tools. Next week, we are going to be doing, I'm going to be back and we're going to be doing survival bracelets on Monday. We're going to post the specific things that you need for that on Monday. So check back. And then on Friday, I'm going to be doing a tracks and traces classes. So we're going to talk about tracks and traces of animals and everything like that. So make sure, again, you check us out every day at 2:30. And yeah, say goodbye. Say goodbye there, Rhonda. She says bye. You can't tell. You don't speak turtle. I do, though. So see you guys. See you next time. Everyone stay well, stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you on the mountain. Bye.